What about you? 2015 Tiguan on a 5N chassis. It's a 2 litre TDI 4Motion, and just did a brake job there. Back brakes were shot. It has 46,500 miles on it. It's got a DSG gearbox. It's got a Haldex coupler for the 4Motion, and did the front brakes as well. We're going to do a DSG service. Okay, Volkswagen and Audi and a few other cars that this is in, Seats and stuff, they started putting 7-speed DSGs in from about 2013 on, or thereabouts. Right, this 7-speed is, you might think that it's just one extra gear from the previous 6-speed of the DSG, but it worked completely differently. It's a completely different box. So the 6-speed had a wet clutch, and so the clutch worked like a motorbike clutch, and it was immersed in oil. So you had to change it quite a lot because you got friction material into the oil. This 7-speed has a dry clutch, so the oil that we're going to change here is actually in the gears and in the mechatronic unit. So it's a completely different procedure than a 6-speed, and it's a completely different box. The code of this box is 0BH or OBH, and 2013 on, and they're all 7-speeds. So we'll have on the screen there the procedure, the Volkswagen procedure. I have the Volkswagen procedures for doing all this stuff. So we're just going to show you a few wee things of what Volkswagen say, and show you why this one here is, there's a wee bit more to it than the ordinary 6-speed change, oil change, which I had a wee look on YouTube before I did this, and there's loads and loads of videos for how to change a 6-speed DSG gear oil, but I couldn't find any at all on the 7-speed. So first of all, it says up there, normally there is no need to remove the oil filter. So it's asking oil filter change, yes or no. And if you follow that link, it talks about, is there metal filings in the oil, or is there debris in it, or something like that. But I'm going to change the oil in this car, and I'm also going to change the filter because I just think it's the right thing to do. However, changing the oil filter in this, it's a bit of a job in itself, actually. So as we can see here, remove air filter housing on vehicles with a diesel engine, which this one here is. Remove left coolant pipe together with the charge air pipe. So when I read that at first, I went, oh, why are they saying that? And the reason is because you can't get that out, because the pipes go over the top of it. So I'll just show you that. So we've removed the airbox, and I also removed the battery and the battery tray. And for this one here, you just need as much room as you can. So that opens the thing away up. It takes another 5 minutes to remove the battery. So you're just leaving it very tight for yourself if you don't. The 6-speed, the oil filter resides underneath the battery, usually about this area here. The 7-speed is completely different. So that's the boost pipe, or the charge air pipe, as Volkswagen were calling it. And then in there we'll have a heater pipe, which is metal, and that goes on to the heater hose in the back there, which I have cable tied to the charge air pipe. That boost pipe is connected with a rubber coupling, so we get it off and remove the mounts there, in here. There's one down there, that wee bracket where that oil clear pipe, so that's now free, and it's right underneath here at the oil cooler, and you need to get a long Torx in underneath that pipe there It's very tight, so I have enough slack in this. It's just being sort of held in position by these oil cooler pipes. So just a note there, there's our wee second thermostat that we talked about in an Audi one time. Incidentally, if there's videos on the channel there of how to do the brakes on an Audi. They're exactly the same as this. So down in there, you probably not be able to see it, down in there there's a couple of mounts, and I took the intercooler pipe off just to give this thing as much movement as it can. I've freed a couple of wires that were clipped to the boost pipe as well. So just to give that a bit of movement. You don't want to pull at that if it's mounted. So if you pull at that and it's not moving, there's probably a mount somewhere. What I've also done then is let's see if we can get you in it there. I've released a couple of connectors there. That one there goes on at the back. You can't see it. It's behind my finger there. That's the oil pressure switch, and I took the coolant one off as well. And that's just to give it a bit of freedom on this wire here, so that I can push the heater pipe. I can push the heater pipe right up against it. So hopefully that's our boy there, and there's with the heat shield on it. So we're going to change it first. Okay, now we can get at the oil filter housing there. Just have another wee look at this here. So it says here, a residual amount of oil remains in the oil filter. It runs out when the filter housing is unscrewed. Before unscrewing filter housing, cover air with oil filter with a sufficient amount of cloth. So we'll do this. First, loosen filter housing number 1 by about 7 turns. Wait 10 seconds. This way the oil will flow from the filter housing back in the gearbox. Now remove the housing with the filter and renew missing or damaged heat shield. So that must be quite important because this is right against the engine. So there's a nice close-up of boost pipe, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. It's 24mm, and it shouldn't be that tight, just one wee crack. I give that a bit of a blow the air gun in around the area, and we'll maybe put a wee cloth down in there. So if I remember, it says unscrew it 7 turns and leave it for a wee while. How long was it? 10 seconds. So we'll just take this nice and slowly. And hopefully I guess with 7 turns. We'll just wait a wee while. Right, I just stop there for a few seconds, just as it says. I'll get down a wee gentle. It's loose enough to do with my hand here. I don't see any oil at the minute. So this is going to be tight by the looks of it. I've definitely unscrewed it as much as I can, and oh, it's stopping it. So I do this with 2 hands. Okay, so it just about passes over. The boost pipe wasn't in the road, but that heater water pipe, it was just it just brushes past it. So you just push it out of the way a wee bit, just push it like that, and the wee heat shield. So that's us there, and there's still a drop of oil on it. So I'm going to suck the rest of that out with an oil drainer, and this is our housing. Might be a wee bit shaky here because I'm holding this behind here, and that's the filter. So the filter just slots in there. So it's a different type of filter, slightly different design. It's on the 6-speed. Okay, so it's all genuine Volkswagen parts you're going to put in this, and you have to buy all separately if you go to Volkswagen. So that is the filter there, and that's part number if you want it. So that's exactly the same as that one. Say it's different from the 6-speed. You have to buy the O-ring separately for the cap, and that is a drain bung seal, quite a big boil there, and that all came out of TPS, genuine parts, and well, there's more stuff in that. I just got 6 litres of oil there. This is the oil, genuine Volkswagen oil for the DSG, and yeah, I'll turn that light off there. So that's the part number there, and I just bought it in the box of 6 litres. I actually bought 7 litres, but I'm expecting this here to take maybe 5.5. The 6-speed, again, a wee bit different. Normally you do a change in that, you know, you're talking about like 4.5 litres. There's more this takes, and you'll see why as the video goes on. So this is your normal type. It's just like changing the engine oil filter. Remove this with your ring. I give that a bit of a clean out there. Make sure it's completely clear. I did that with paper towels, not cloth ones. So we'll get that around that. There we go. And we'll give that a wee film of oil. The oil that came out of that. Kept a wee taste of that. Wee taste of the oil there. Or you can take a wee bit of oil into the cap there. A wee bit of oil around that. The other thing, this is still in the bag. I'm going to put gloves on for handling this. It's a very small micron filter, so I'm not going to touch it with my hands. I'm going to put gloves on now, and a wee bit of oil around that O-ring there, and it just pops in. And screw this down. 20 Newton meters on that, and we'll get the boost pipes back on again. Right, that's the boost pressure pipe, the boost pipe there back on again. There's a wee bolt there. There's a wee bolt, as I said, it's in there. You need to put a key in there. Now, I'm just going to move that wee clip. I never touched that wee clip there, but I think it's very close to that plastic pipe, so I'm going to spin that. I'm going to spin that around a wee bit. And there is that housing. That's right underneath the boost pipe, as you can see. So that's what you're up against with this one. Well, that's it all back together. Time to get her up in the air. The easy way of determining or knowing that you have this newer style box here is the 6-speed box. The drain plug is about here. It's just at the dog bone mount, whereas on this one, the dry clutch 7-speed, the drain plug is over at the wheel. So it's right over at the wheel, and there's another drain plug there which we're going to use, which isn't in the procedure in the 6-speed. That is the code of it, OBH, and nearly everything that's associated with this gearbox will start with OBH. So if we move over here, OBH, or I think it's 0BH actually, but there we go. So that's a big hex there, so we'll pull that out, and the rest of it's very like the 6-speed procedure, just with the exception That is an additional drain plug, and that drains the mechatronic, and that there's about an extra litre and a half comes out if you drain that part of it. So we'll take a wee quick look at the procedure here. Temperature is very important. If it's above 50 degrees C, let the gearbox cool off. This car hasn't ran since yesterday, so it's ambient temperature. That's the Volkswagen diagnostic tool. That's an oil drainer. Their tool that they use is you screw it onto the bottle and let it run in by gravity. I won't be doing that, but you'll see how I do it. Oil temperature not be above 45. Engine off. Vehicle level. Let me see anything else interesting here. Above 45, let the gearbox cool off. Do not start the engine if there is no oil in the gearbox. Engine off, do not start engine. Big warning there. Yeah, absolutely. We have taken a wee bit out when we did the filter there, so we're definitely not wanting to start the engine. So there's your drain plug, as I pointed out, under the car. So that's just at your near side wheel there. Renew the oil seal, so we'll have a new one on M. And remove pipe. So that's the filler tube that's inside. It's a wee bit like the ZF boxes there. And if you're familiar with this sort of stuff at all, and the 6-speed there, it's an overflow pipe. It works like a sink. So that finds the correct level. So this is the second oil drain plug there, arrow from mechatronic unit. So that's the main one, that's the second one. And a further 1.2 litres will run out. I said 1.5 there, but 1.2. So that's why in this one here, you need a wee bit more oil. I bought a box of 6, and I have a spare one as well. So I expect to use about 5.5 in this. The majority of the 6 speeds, you'll only get about 4.5 litres in it. So this one here, you need a bit more. If you're doing this extra procedure, which drains the mechatronic unit, which is there. So renew seal, reinstall 20 Newton meters on that one. And normally there's no need to remove the oil filter. Again, they don't seem to want to change the oil filter in these procedures. That's the big seal, and the wee plastic pipe, 3 Newton meters, which is just hand tight for that. And what's that? Oh, the filling pipe thing that they do. I'm not going to do that. And yeah, 5.5 litres there. We're expecting to put in or in around that. So yeah, so that one there, it doesn't actually say it here, but the big bung there is 45 Newton meters on the big drain. That one. Right, so you just get a wee bit out of that, and that's a 14mm hex on that. So let that run for a minute. So there's a right wee bit come out of that. There's an 8mm ball end. It doesn't have to be a ball end, but I think it helps. Get that up in, you should be able to just take that out by hand there. No ratchets required. That's up by there. I'll let that run out. And you make sure you keep all this stuff clean. So let that run for a wee second. So this mechatronic drain is a triple square. Down the shot there. That's it there. It's an M8 triple square. It's not an Allen or anything like that, or a hex. So break that. Just pick that wee seal off. Just repositioning my catch can here, the catch tray. So it's a wee bit dirty out, as you can see. That's 46,000 miles in this. I'll let that drain. I will let that just drain away there a bit. So let's let that drip for about 10 minutes there. That's our mechatronic drain plug there for the new seal on. 20 meters then. And it's convenient, there's a wee cutout there in the under tray. $28. Okay, back to the main drain then. So we're going to put our overflow pipe, is what it really is. Back in again. And that's it. On tight. Right, so to fill this, I'm going to use a wee adapter that's in my Gearbox oil filler kit, and it's that wee boy there, and there's the thread sizes on it there. Then you can see in it, M24 by 1.5 DSG, M24 by 1.5. So there's a wee ring on it. There's a wee ring on it there. You can see it. So just going to screw that in. The thread started all by hand. So you need to screw all this stuff in by hand. That's why there's just a wee knurled bit on it there. There we go. So we can just clip this quick connect onto it there, and we'll have that tap. So there's our setup. That wee transmission filler there has that wee adapter in it. I showed that before. That's what I use for filling gearboxes, and we'll just let that sit there. I'll just fill it for us ourselves, give it a pump the odd time. That just holds 3 litres, so I'll have to close that valve off and stick another 3 litres in it probably, and just fill her up. You end up overfilling this, and then you're on the engine and it overflows, and that's how you get your level. So I'm just going to bring you over. That's the oil that came out of it, and there's a sample of it. So yeah, Okay, Volkswagen recommends, they're recommending this 40,000 miles for this oil change. This car has 46.5 on it. And yeah, I think it needed it. So we'll let that fill, and we'll just consult this thing here again. That's their filler mechanism there we're not using. And here we are, fill 5.5 litres of oil. Now, I've measured the oil that came out of that, and there's just shy of 5 litres come out of that. So it's suggesting here to a half litre overfill, but that's fine. We've got plenty of oil there, so when change the bottles close top adapter, close top adapter when 5.5 litres of oil have come out of the gearbox. So the next bit of the procedure is start engine, and the oil filler remain connected. Depress brake pedal, select each selector lever position for about 3 seconds, and then move lever back to park, and do not switch off engine. So you leave the engine running, and then check oil level and top up. Okay, so this is the topping up procedure, but this is written for not the oil change. So this is describing pull the bung out, which we've already done. So there's just a wee bit more information here. Test temperature 35 to 45. Engine running at idle in P. Remove the drain. Renew oil seal. So if it's too low, let it go out. But that's a topping up procedure. So we'll just screw down here because we've already done all that. That says put a litre of oil in it. And so torque set for drain plug 45 Newton meters. Just another wee thing. It says here shake balls thoroughly before opening to ensure that sediment at the bottom mixes well with the oil. So give the oil a good shake before you put it in the container. So the engine's running. We've dispensed exactly 5.5 litres of oil. We've closed the wee top off so it doesn't all run out again, or that extra half a litre doesn't run out again. And the engine running, and we're keeping an eye on our temperature here. It's 30 degrees at the minute. Transmission fluid temperature. So wait till it gets up to 35 and we'll cycle the gears. So trans fluid at 35, depress the brake, and 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Did that more than you had to, but. Right, so after cycling the gears, this is how we're going to check our level. I'll take this off and let that drain. So you just let that drain out there until it just drips. So it'll probably throw out that extra half litre there. We'll take our wee adapter out. Put the bung in when you see. Right, that's it dripping. So screw it out. And the new bung in with the new seat. So, 45 Newton meters. Jobs are good. So, the engine's still running, our bungs are in. There's 39 degrees on it there. So, quite nice. and just have to clear this all up. So, hope you enjoyed the video. That's 7-speed DSG service, full service, and following the procedure there to the letter of the Volkswagen procedure. So many thanks for watching, and all the best, bye bye.